Howdy, hi. This is Deer Job Sports WNBA Picks and Predictions for Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. We are looking at multiple WNBA games. Let's get into the video. All right, so another day of me just burning money on fire. 1-5, burning our season record. We are now just one game over 500. I looked at my notes. If you flash back 3.5 weeks ago, I was 46 games over 500. 46. I am now one game over 500. I have gotten destroyed in close to the past month. So I'll recap these games real quick. Then we'll get on to the two games we got for tomorrow. Our only winner was Mercury -5. And honestly, they probably shouldn't have covered this. If Indiana wouldn't have had as bad as a first half as they did defensively, the Mercury probably would have lost this game. Final score, Phoenix 85, Indiana 79. Phoenix had 54 points at halftime. They finished the game with 85. They took a 15-point lead into halftime. They lose the second half by 9, 40-31. Kelsey Mitchell, of course, I don't bet her. She scores 29 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Now we get to the losers. This time I started with the player props because I think these were the most egregious losses of the day. Yes, the Liberty got absolutely dog-walked, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I have serious gripe with both of these player prop losses. Jonquel Jones, Finals MVP of last season, Jonquel Jones, with no Sabrina Ionescu on the court, only played 22 minutes of basketball. She shot the ball 3 times, 5 points, 3 rebounds, and 1 assist. I took her PRA over 25.5. She didn't even get 10. Not even half of it. Meanwhile, Breanna Stewart, 15 field goal attempts. She shot 13 free throws. You even those out, that's 22 shot attempts. 22. She went 4 of 15 from the field. Leona Fibic, 23 minutes, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 4 assists, 0 of 4 from the field. Kennedy Burke, 15 minutes, 0 of 3 from the field. Here we go. Maureen Johannes off the bench. 2 less minutes than Jonquel. 5 shot attempts. Why is your former finals MVP only playing 22 minutes and shooting the ball 3 times? It makes no sense. Maybe she got injured, but I don't think so because I Googled it, nothing came up. I wasn't watching this game because they were down by 20 at one point, and I refused to watch a game where the Valkyries are up 20. All right, then we have Satu Sabli. Kind of the same story. Satu Sabli at halftime had 11 points and 1 rebound. I was like, all right, she's on pace to hit 19.5. The second half, she plays 6 total minutes. 23 minutes played in the entire game. 13 points, 2 rebounds, 4 of 9 from the field. They played 2 bench players more minutes than her. Dwana Bonner off the bench, 25 minutes, 19 points, 6 of 11 from the field. Sammy Whitcomb off the bench, 24 minutes, 10 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists. I get if they're playing well, you obviously should play them because it makes sense. It's a tight game. But god damn, is it frustrating when you take a player prop of someone for over 19.5 and they barely play more than half the game. 23 minutes played. What in the fuck? All right, now we get to the Liberty, who got clapped. I mean, this was belt to ass. The current score is 53-64 with 2.5 minutes left in the fourth. So they're not covering 6, nor is the over hitting. They had a 4-point lead at the end of the first quarter. It was 18-14. I was like, all right, maybe they're going to come out and finally win a basketball game. Then in the second quarter, they lost 8-26. How do you lose a 10-minute quarter by 18 points? That is nearly impossible to do. That is like Division III women's basketball level of bad. So they win the first quarter. They win the second quarter. They're on pace to win the fourth quarter. If you were to tell me that a team wins 3 out of 4 quarters but somehow manages to lose the game by double digits, I'd tell you you're smoking a hell of a lot of crack, because that just doesn't make any sense. But here we have it, with supposedly one of the best teams in the WNBA, which has to be the most inaccurate statement I've ever heard, because this team is straight buns. This is what they shot from the field. 17 of 53, that's 32%. 6 of 23, 26% from deep. 75% from the free throw line. They lose the rebounding battle by 8. I couldn't tell you the last time the New York Liberty won a rebounding battle in a basketball game. It's just not possible. How that's not possible with John Quell, Emma Mieseman, and Stewie on the court, I have no fucking clue. What'd they do turnovers? 15 turnovers. How are you this bad? You won the finals last year, and here you are getting dog-walked by an expansion team. Also, this would almost solidify Natalie Nakase as Coach of the Year. It was either her or the Atlanta Dream coach, Carl Schmesko, in the, I think that's how you say his last name, Schmevko, whatever his last name is, the bigger guy from Atlanta. I think those two were the front runners for it. This has to cement Natalie Nakase as Coach of the Year. They're going to be 22-18. They're probably going to snag like a 5th seed in the playoffs, or maybe a 6th. Actually, let's go to the standings right now. Let me figure this out. Standings, what do we got? The Fever, they lost tonight, so they're going to drop to 21-20. They are currently at... so the Storm have played more games. Yeah, they're going to snag a 5th seed if they win a decent chunk of the games they have left. Who do they have left on the schedule? Valkyries play Wings. That's a free win. Lynx, that's an L. At the Storm, I don't know. That'll be a massive game. Actually, that Storm game probably decides whether they get the 5th seed or the 6th seed. That's going to be massive. And then they play at the Lynx. So they have 2 guaranteed losses, a guaranteed win versus the Wings, and then a question mark versus the Storm. This is going to be a good end of season to see who actually gets what seeding. You could very easily see a New York Liberty Golden State Valkyries first round matchup. Just that could really happen. All right. Then the next game we had the over 165 and the Mercury and the Fever. I thought this was hitting considering the Phoenix Mercury had 54 points at halftime, but it does not, as they only score 31 in the second half. We lose the over by 2 points. All right, that's enough complaining. I went 1-5. The WNBA is painful as hell. All right, I'm going to try to go through these a little quicker than normal, just based on the amount of ranting I just did. First game, Dream. I'm going to take him at home, -7. I'm also going to rock the over of 168.5. This is win or go home for the Sparks. So you lose this, you're out of playoff contention. This is not good, considering you're going up against a Dream team who still needs to win basketball games to try to get the number 2 seed overall. So they are going to be playing their hardest to beat you. Sparks, 19-20 on the year. Even if they were to win this game and then win a few going out after this game, they still need an absolute ton to happen, so they do not control their own destiny. Massive news for them. Rickea Jackson listed as questionable for this game. If she misses this, I do not see how they win this game at all. They're not 0-1. They're 1-1. Are they 0-1? They are 0-1 against the Dream this year because this is the first of back-to-back games they play in Atlanta. They lost that first game 88-82. I really don't see how they win this. Dream 26-14 on the year, 7-3 in their last 10. Their offense has been on an absolute heater. They scored 93 and 100. Granted, that was against the Wings and the Sun, but I think both of those teams might have better defenses than the Sparks defense, so who really knows? They do have some pretty important injury news. Alicia Gray, questionable to play in this one. Jordan Canada is, however, back in the lineup, so if they do miss Gray for a few games, it's going to be a big deal as she helps their team out a bunch, but they do have Canada back to carry the ball down the court. All right, next game. I really don't even think this game is worth talking about, but I will. Connecticut Sun at the Chicago Sky might be the worst game of the year. Give me the Sun plus 1.5. Give me the under 162.5. Both of those teams, they're already mentally checked out for the year. They're planning their trip to Cancun as we speak. Don't bet this game. Sun 10-30 on the year, coming off of a 17-point home loss to the Dream, despite having a 6-point halftime lead. I would know that because I took them on the point spread and they did not cover. They've already played this guy 3 times this year. They're 2-1 against them straight up. Both of these teams struggled to put ball in hoop, whether that be from deep, from the mid-range, during a layup line, whatever you want. They're not putting the ball in the hoop. The Sky, they're 9-30 on the year, 1-9 in their last 10 games, and a decent amount of those have been with Angel Reese and Ariel Atkins. Their injury report, it is clean, besides Haley Van Lith, and then obviously still Courtney Vandersloot. Why do we have to play this game? Just both teams forfeit. This literally means nothing. The only thing you could gain from playing this game is ticket sales and beer sales at the stadium. You are just risking more injury by playing this. I vote both teams forfeit and you go on vacation. All right, so both player props I took, I'm going to target the first game because I want absolutely zero action in that second game. So I take Ryan Howard, points and assists over 22.5. Dream, they're at home to the Sparks. Alicia Gray, like I said, questionable for this game. So if she does not play, Ryan Howard and Jordan Canada's usage is going to go through the roof. The Sparks, they play absolutely no defense. And the Sparks' probably best defender on ball might be Rakia Jackson. She's questionable, and she would be Ryan Howard's assignment. So if she does not play, you're going to have someone coming off the bench who's not going to be nearly as good as defense as Rakia. So that is a plus for Ryan Howard. Then on the opposite side of the ball, you have Kelsey Plum. I'm going to take her PRA over 25.5. Again, Rakia being questionable. If she does not play, this opens up a big door for Kelsey Plum to do whatever she wants offensively. I also don't mind Dearica Hamby props. The only thing that kind of scared me with that was the combination of Bree Jones and Brittany Griner down low. Don't really want to mess with either of those. So I will take Kelsey. She has a somehow smaller Jordan Canada guarding her. Should be able to take a bail of that, get down to the hole, kick it out, or try to draw a foul on BG or Brianna down low. All right, that is going to do it for me in this video. The official final score of that Liberty game, 58-66. They won 3 out of 4 quarters in a basketball game, yet they still lost by 8 points. That's got to be the worst stat of the year. The Liberty suck. They are a horrible basketball team. Good God. All right, well, that's it. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.